Welcome, beautiful ones. We are live at the Tao of Women. Another beautiful session, another global community. And so I bow to the presence of you who are live here with me in Zoom and Facebook and YouTube, and everybody who listens on the replay. You are welcome here. This session in the Tao of Women today is a seated session. And so even for our opening meditation, I invite you to find your seat, whether seated in a chair, cross-legged on the floor, or kneeling like I will be. Taking a moment to help yourself arrive here with your breath. Allowing your body to settle in and allowing your breath to enter your body as we open ourselves to the wisdom of our body, the wisdom of the Tao. And today we'll read passage 25. So if you have the book, I encourage you to read along with me. And if not, you can always order it used. And if not, just listen and allow these words to enter into your mind and heart and body. Passage 25. Source. The deer searches for the source of its own musk. The woman for the source of her own power. When she attributes it to others, she empowers them. When she stops her search, she realizes the truth. Imagine the accomplishments if she started her search at home within herself. There's a lot here. Let's take a deep breath. Let's read it one more time. Source. The deer searches for the source of its own musk. The woman for the source of her own power. When she attributes it to others, she empowers them. When she stops her search, she realizes the truth. Imagine the accomplishments if she started her search at home with herself. So I invite you to drop into your meditative practice, and I'm going to allow one more person in the room, and together we'll drop in. So, welcome. Finding your seat. We are continuing. We've read the passage, and just since we have one more person, I'm going to read it one more time. Source. The deer searches for the source of its own musk. The woman for the source of her own power. When she attributes it to others, she empowers them. When she stops her search, she realizes the truth. Imagine the accomplishments if she started her search at home within herself. So let's stop searching outside and start at home within ourselves. And so finding your seat, whether seated on a chair, on a cushion on the floor, or on your meditation bench. Bringing your attention and your breath to yourself. We're going to connect with our breath, anchor our breath, and we're going to locate our lower dantian. We're going to locate our home within ourselves. So with every practice and every meditation, there's a moment where you empty, where you draw your awareness inside yourself and start to drop your awareness down. And as you do so, you are empty. And I'm simply using my hands to help me empty out, to help me settle my mind and deepen my breath so I can open to the practice, emptying out. And as we begin, we'll rest our hands on our knees and soften your gaze, turning your gaze inward or gently closing your eyes, whatever feels the most comfortable. And just like in our previous session when we anchored our breath, we're going to allow our attention to activate our inner ears to listen. So we are listening in our body, and we're resting our attention in the beginning at our nostrils, where the air enters and leaves our body. And as we listen, we absorb our mind into the tissues of our body like a sponge at our nostrils. We simply absorb our mind into the tissues of our body. And as we breathe, we're not tracing our breath, we're not cultivating our breath. We're cultivating our attention to our body. Our attention starts to absorb into the area of our sinuses, these nasal passages. Listening and absorbing into your sinuses. And as your body opens, you start to absorb into your throat, your larynx, your esophagus, absorbing your attention into the tissues of your body as you breathe. We are anchoring our breath into our body with our attention. And as we breathe, our body opens to the breath. And our attention starts to absorb into the front of our chest, into our lungs. Absorbing into the tissues, inhabiting the tissues with your attention. As you're breathing, you become aware of this single field from nostrils to lungs, absorbing your mind. As you breathe, your mind may wander, just bring them back to the tissues and absorb them into the tissue of your lungs, of the front. And as your body starts to open even more, your attention gets absorbed into the back of your lung, between your shoulder blades, the back of your lungs, absorbing your awareness into now the left side and the right side. Your body's like a sponge, absorbing your attention into it, inhabiting your body. Starting now to absorb into your diaphragm, letting your attention rest now from nostrils to diaphragm as one body, absorbing into the body. As your body continues to open, your attention drops down to your lower abdomen near your navel. Absorb your attention into the area of your navel. The name of this passage was Source. Absorb yourself into this area of your umbilicus. Absorbing your attention down even lower, deeper than your navel, in the front of your body. As you absorb your attention deep into your body, the back starts to open. Absorb your mind and your attention directly behind your navel, on your spine, near your kidneys, filling this whole space with your attention, listening, absorbing in. This passage is called Source. This area is Mingmen, the door of life, associated with your origin, your beginning. Now absorbing your attention now, filling your entire lower abdomen letting your attention rest now at your pelvic floor, at your perineum, allowing your attention to absorb into this space. And as you let your attention absorb into this space, you allow your attention to also absorb into this entire channel from nostrils to pelvic floor, absorbing into your body, anchoring your breath. And from here, we're going to locate our lower dantian, resting your mind back at your perineum. You might give your perineum a little squeeze as you inhale, a little lift, a little drawing upward, and soften it as you exhale. And when you do that, you're coming in contact with Huyin or Huiyin. This is Ren 1 or Conception 1. This is the beginning. In many ways, this is where we begin even before our umbilicus. This is an origin point, a source. Resting your mind here, letting this be an anchor so you can find your dantian. Giving it a little squeeze, pulling it up, as if you could draw a line to the level of your navel. And the reason it's important is because when we find our dantian, we often put it too far in the front. And then you see how far back that line actually is. So drawing it up to the height of your navel, staying in alignment with this point. As you inhale and exhale, absorb your mind into this line deep inside your body. It is elusive until you anchor into it. Now, to continue to find the dantian, let's shift our attention back to the navel. And as if you could draw a line from navel all the way through your body back toward your spine. On the other side of your navel, that's Mingmen. Rest your attention on the line between navel and Mingmen. Rest your attention and awareness to the relationship between navel and Mingmen as you breathe. Drawing that line. So if it was a picture, you would have a line going from the front of your body to the back of your body. Now, returning to your pelvic floor, giving a gentle squeeze and drawing a line up so it comes in contact with the line between navel and Mingmen. Now that is a little bit high, but that's the reference point that the teachers often give. So I'm sharing it this way. Now just take this line that's from navel and Mingmen and bring it down about 2 fingers. If you were to place a finger at your navel and put 2, it'd be 3 fingers there. From that point, draw a line back, connect it with that central line of your perineum, and it makes a cross hair. The Chinese character for Dantian is drawn with a cross with the line up, horizontal and vertical, telling you to rest your mind at the cross point. Resting your mind inside where these 2 lines meet. Allow your attention to absorb into this dark, elusive space. This is your elixir field. This is the source of your power, your center, your home. It's created by your origin points. And while you are listening inside yourself, I'm going to read one more time. Source. The deer searches for the source of its own musk. The woman for the source of her own power. When she attributes it to others, she empowers them. When she stops her search, she realizes the truth. Imagine the accomplishments if she started her search at home within herself. So taking a moment to rest your mind back on that spot as you breathe. Another simple way to find Dantian is not so elaborate, like that crosshairs, but that's the teachings of the masters. So I want to continue that. But my simple way that many people teach also is simply connect with the line between navel and Mingmen. And as if you're drawing a triangle, drop navel to your perineum and drop Mingmen to your perineum and create a triangle. And rest your mind in the center of that triangle. This is where we start to cultivate our lower dantian, our elixir. This is a source of our power, our center and our home. And so now simply allow your mind to stop absorbing into that space and let it rest. Let your mind be natural. Let your energy and your focus be natural, as if it's not focusing on any single thing. Letting your mind now inhabit your whole body, freely and naturally, letting the energy flow in any way that it chooses to. So you start to infuse your whole body with the energy from that focal point. Letting this energy circulate through you, nourishing you, knowing you have a map and a pathway to always return back home with your breath anchored deep into your body, absorbed into your body. There is a wisdom path in your body, an innate healing power. Remembering this, we start to complete our practice by gently opening our eyes and rubbing our hands together, allowing your attention now to stay in your body while you open your eyes. Can you stay in your body while being aware of the outside? And as you rub your hands, you just simply rub your hands together and rest the palms of your hands over your eyes and sweep your hands over the top of your head and down behind your ears and down your throat and through your body. When you go into deep states of meditation, you want to stay in your body, but then you want to come out and anchor yourself. And this is a classic way that Taoist masters come out of their meditation. You could also gently tap your forehead, tap your crown, rub your ears, tap your chest, rub on your kidneys, tap your kidneys, and just come in contact with your physical form. We were just there for a few moments, but especially if you're there for a much longer time, it's really important to do this. And you might want to twist your spine, shake it out, roll your shoulders back. And we bow. And so right hand makes a fist. We bow and show up that as a wise woman, we are powerful. We are powerful. And we find our power, we search and find our power within. And so we bow. We bow to each other. We bow to the practice. We bow to the Tao of Women. We bow to our teachers, teachers, and the teacher within. Drawing this back to our heart, but we do not keep it in our heart. Our heart is open, and we bring it down into our dantian, where we just rested our mind. And with that, I would love to hear from you and those that are live to stay for a short conversation, and those that are watching the replay to place in the comments what you received from this practice, what was challenging, what was difficult, what you received. And please share this with your friends and get the book. And I'd love to see you in Qigong class. Okay, thank you. Ooh.